Is this all just a trade war fear trade, or is there something maybe else under the surface that we're not talking enough about?
It's the trade war, basically. I think the global economy was still in a very good growth phase, and the trade war, or the potential of a trade war, is raising questions about the viability of that and the repercussions from that. So it's trade war much more than anything else. The Fed hiking rates going into a potentially weakening economic environment is maybe a sub-story there as well, but it's trade war driving markets.
Yeah, I'm not minimizing the trade war or trade talk or trade tussle, whatever you want to call it, aspect, Patrick. But I will say this. You've got the ECB, European Central Bank, basically ending their quantitative easing program. We're tightening. The U.S. dollar is wreaking havoc on emerging markets. It can't only be trade, can it?
Well, it's not only trade, but if you look at leading economic indicators, people are talking about Europe rolling over. PMIs in Europe are still at 56. That's still consistent with Europe growing at around 2%. U.S. is going to grow much faster than that. The Fed's hiking. ECB's got negative interest rates still. We're still quantitative easing in Europe, and it's going to stay negative or up to zero until the third quarter of next year as well. So even if the policy is not on the accelerator anymore from the ECB, it's still going to be very accommodative. The worrying sign with that, though, is if we are at a point where the economy is rolling over, the ECB is not at the point where the Fed is, where they haven't raised rates yet. What tools do they have left if we do get into a slowing economy?
Trade wars, tariffs, et cetera, really haven't happened yet. I mean, there's been a few here and there. Mostly,
nothing meaningful. Yeah.
Mostly, we are still talking. We're throwing barbs. Yeah. Is the market overreacting at all? What if nothing actually happens? What if China and the U.S. make out some kind of a new deal? Things in Europe calm down. NAFTA's figured out. I mean, it's a big if. But what if we get the calming? Is that an automatic buy signal, Patrick?
I don't know if it's an automatic buy signal. It's our base case, actually, that rhetoric stays very strong leading into the midterms, and actual new tariffs and counter tariffs put in place aren't our base case. We don't think the Trump administration doesn't understand the consequences of trade wars. They've actually taken steps back twice in the last month, where Kudlow came on after China and said, we're actually getting close to a deal there. Navarro came on CNBC a couple of days ago, tried to calm markets. So,
and he did briefly. I mean, when Navarro talked on our network, the market, it was way down. It still ended down, but it came off its lows. I mean, the words mattered.
Yeah, I think the administration reacts to market moves. So I think Trump talks tough on trade. That's good for popularity for Trump's base. But it's also shown it reacts to markets. If the market starts to get worried, the administration does too that. And I think a lot of rhetoric is needed, probably, from the Trump administration leading up to midterms to gain that popularity. But I don't think there'll be much follow through, and probably we'll get some sort of claimed victory where China says over the next 30 years we'll import another $200 billion worth of goods, something that is inconsequential materially, but it can be the soundbite that looks like hard talk rhetoric is working on trade.
Yeah. Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.